Up next, I'm going to be welcoming a very special guest. It is Tawanna. And what's so exciting is I love to be surprised. And all of a sudden, right on set, Jenna just brought me these lovely flowers. And who are they from? Our next guest. That's right. It is Tawanna Woolfolk. Hey, welcome, Tawanna. How are you?
Hello, Donna and crew and Jenna. Y'all have been
What?
wonderful.
Oh my gosh, you're so thoughtful, so amazing. I just thought that that was such a nice, classy touch, that you sent me flowers. So they're here. It's almost like you're really here with me. So thank you for these. They're just lovely, very, very lovely. And I like to be surprised. And so thank you for the surprise. I love gifts. It's like every month I get to shoot my TV show. It's like it feels like it's my birthday, right? It's like, yay. It's just
Yes.
a joyful time to be able to meet new people and to celebrate their journey, to celebrate life with them. You have had an extraordinary journey, Tawanna. Can you talk to us a little bit about maybe your challenging childhood that has brought you the strength of how you are a force now in the universe?
Oh, thank you, Donna. I tried to promise myself I wouldn't get emotional tonight, but it's not working. Um, just by the very invitation to be on this show is it continues to surprise me to be evidence um, that my existence was for nothing. That it was for this very moment. That For your guests and audience, I am 43 and started out in life under precarious circumstances, and really at a very young age was very curious about how I could have even survived what I did. Um, and it wasn't until the third grade meeting Miss Coleman, who is this badass teacher. Can I swear on here?
We'll bleep it, but yes, we
um,
know what you meant.
I'm sorry, but she is
I understand. She's
she
all that and a bag of chips,
she
Tawana.
is
She's like,
she
she's it.
really
She's
is.
it.
But she was really the first person that planted that mustard seed of curiosity, of hope and faith that was my explicit invitation to explore this burning anguish and desire to know why I was even existing and alive. Because I was born to a mother, my biological mother was 14 at the time. She was just a baby herself. And so it just meant that the start of my life was filled with a lot of adversity and trauma. And it was this amazing that this teacher, maybe she knew I was walking around with this burning question of like why I was living, why I was existing. And that's when I discovered Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, in the third grade. And his book, which was his journey, maybe almost a parallel journey that I was on, of kind of why he survived and as a survivor of the Jewish concentration camps, and why his family didn't. And it was this belief that he could go wherever he wanted in his mind, that he had the ultimate freedom. And that became part of my survival guide, and until I could figure out the rest of the journey. And um and so it was at that point, by that point I was in my final foster home. I'd gotten adopted at 12 years old, and but I had went from the ages of 4 through 12 in foster homes, and just knew a life of just really scrounging and for survival and just existing. And so that's kind of just to kind of start you off a little bit.
So as you realize that your challenges were maybe like a little more extreme than other kids in your classroom, this teacher
Mhm.
saw something special in you and kind of shepherd
Yeah.
you along the way, if you will, into saying, you know, there's a paradigm shift here. You can take these challenges and turn them into something like fuel, fuel for the better
Mhm.
day, fuel for a better
Yes.
life, and fuel to help others because of your empathy. And that's what you did, Tawanna. You decided you have an entire career now based upon the fact that you're relatable to other people's challenges and you help them overcome that. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's your career. It
Yes.
fostered that foundation, you know. Sometimes in life we don't know why things happen to us. You know, what do they say? Bad things happen to good people, or but I
Mhm.
believe that sometimes we all get a little dose of something. Some more than others. You know, some have a horrible childhood, but you're giving people that joy now to almost have the childhood that they never had. You know, there's many different people that you help. Let's talk about that. Who are some of the people that you're able to touch, that you're able to help heal?
Yeah. So for your dear viewers, I'm a licensed clinical social worker by training. Will be going into my 20th year of practice. End of August will be my 20th year anniversary, and so that's why being on this show is especially important. And I consider myself a healer, a doula for the soul. Actually, just yesterday, I posted a message on Instagram, really kind of living out loud. I have a campaign about living, growing, healing, and changing out loud without shame, secrecy, and silence. And so yesterday, I broke my silence around that I've chosen not to bear my own children, biological children, but to um, birth life into my clients so that they could be their most favorite healed version of themselves. And so I am working with folks who, individuals, families, couples, who really are going through the deepest of their healing around trauma, addiction, depression, anxiety, um, just various stage of life issues, grief, delayed grief, acute grief, and really having the joy and honor of working with folks of all ages, all races, gender, sexuality, religion, ethnicities. It is quite a joy and honor that I get to be a doula, to steward them towards truly the life that they have always been meant to live and exist in. That indeed I end up really encountering folks who, I'm just going to call a thing. They're truly they're just on life support, just existing and living in shame, secrecy, and silence, and being afraid to just live out loud and heal out loud. And they come into in our shared space, and I give them explicit permission to say what they've got to say, grieve what they need to grieve, um, admit to the most egregious things that the mistakes that they've made. And I see their potential, I see their healing, and I see the love that they need. And I'm willing to make myself emotional talking about this, but I see it.
Yeah,
I see them.
you're a safe space for them, Tawanna. You're a
Yes.
safe space for them to come forward, you know? And that's the other reason that I wanted, we spoke, I guess about an hour and a half on the phone. And I fell in love with your spirit. I fell in love with what you're doing and who you are and the light that you're bringing to others as a licensed therapist. And, you know, I felt like the people that watch my show, they would want to know you, you know, because if they themselves are not hurting, they probably know someone that is. Tawanna,
Oh,
I
you better
thank you
believe it.
so much. Yeah, I thank you so much for being here. And I wish you, you know, joy on your journey
Thank
and
you.
healing so that you can be that vessel, that you can be that safe space for them, you know. So thank you for what
Yes.
you do. Thank you for choosing the
Thank
profession that
you.
you chose. And we wish you nothing but happiness and joy on your journey.
Thank you, Donna. Take
You're
care.
welcome.